Good morning, Misfits. That is loud. That's loud. That was really loud. Shoot, now it's really low. Damn it. What are we going to do here? Okay. Good morning, everybody in the chat. T. Mitchell on the edge. Great guy Gary Bumba. Emmy. T. Mitchell, Hollywood. I already did those. We're scrambling. We did a scramble. Great guy Gary. Crazy Mo McGroin. Film What Matters. B. Jones 15. EO Cox Bumba. All right, I feel like I'm very, very loud, but it could just be my headphone volume. I don't know. All right, we're gonna have audio issues because my douchey friend decided he wanted to be on my show. I got a last minute, and when I say last minute guest, I mean a half hour ago. My guest was like, "Hey, can I be on your show?" And I was like, "Yeah, you want to come on like right now?" There we go. All right, I think I fixed it there. How's the volume, people? How's the volume? I think I just fixed it. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just check because I just did the last minute changes. People, how's the volume? Oh, that is loud. That's pretty loud. I just fixed it. That's loud. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna. Okay, hold on. That's loud. Shush, you shush me. Calm down, all right? I'm doing stuff. Let's bring that down to like 20. Check. 20. No, not 22. 20. All right. I just blew your eardrums out. Okay. All right. Now, let's go back to live. I know there's a delay, but I'm going to check it out, and I think we should be good. All right. So, let's go. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, all right. Okay, that's perfect. Here we go. And we'll do the same thing when my guest comes on. You know, I'm a little, actually, you know what? Let's go back to the chat. I'm a little mad at my chat. I'm a little mad at you guys because the last time I had on a guest was Gary from Paramount Tactical. And I asked you in the chat, I said, how does it sound? And everybody was like, great. And then I rewatched the show and my volume was low as shit. And you guys didn't tell me. My volume was low. You guys heard Gary perfectly. Whatever. We also have a double up sound issue that I think I just figured out. It sounds clear, but you just woke my cat. I just woke up your cat. Good. I don't like cats. Cats are demons. I'm just kidding. I'm sure your cat's nice. I'm sure you have a nice cat. Okay. Anyway, let's do the intro, and then we're going to bring in my guest, who's pretty much my brother. One of my best friend, probably. I mean, Bill will get mad about it, but they're both my best friend. And that'll be in a couple of minutes. So, they're just jelly. They're just jelly. Right? This is what we're going to talk about today. If you guys haven't seen the jelly roll thing, then we'll cover that. Owen Schroyer's crashing out like usual. And because this is Woke Wednesday, all right, if you're new to this show, this is what we have, sort of like a theme of the day, right? And Woke Wednesday is when I try to pick some woke behavior, which is plentiful, right? It's very easy to go on the internet and find some woke moron or woke retard that's doing some woke shit. Jelly Roll seems to have Bud Lighted himself. Owen Schroyer is now, so Jelly Roll is now, I would call him the woke left. I mean, guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel, sort of being in that whole scene. And then you have the woke right retard Owen Schroyer, who we talk about a lot. But by the way, I have a new nickname for him. It's Buffalo. No, sorry, Fluffalo Bill. Yes. Well, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. You know what? I wonder if I can go back far enough, because I don't think I showed you guys Fluffalo Bill. Here it is, Fluffalo. Fluffalo Bill. We got Fluffalo Bill with his little. And we're going to talk about this today, right? The miso strategy. Okay. I noticed Sean and Bongino, they have been taking my content, which I'm fine with. You know, they can have it. But they've been talking about mockery, right? And I've been talking about this for a long time. I call it the miso strategy. Now, this is how you deal with morons on the internet, the woke left, the woke right. You never validate them. Okay, you never have a serious conversation with a person that's not serious, right? So I invented the miso strategy. Miso, mock, insult, shame, ostracize. That's the only way to deal with them. When you sit down with Candace Owens and you pay her $300,000 to have a conversation, even though she's a schizophrenic retard who's just pushing conspiracy theories all day, you validated her. Instead, what you should have done was sit down across from her, blow cigarette smoke in her face, and say, screw you. But he didn't. Andrew Wilson decided to validate her either way. Okay. We're also going to get to the news. And because this is a last minute guest, I'm gonna lead this up a little bit, right? So my best friend messages me, and this is what this is what he said, right? His word for word. Can I be on your podcast to scream about Muslim invasion? I'm effing mad. And I went, yep. Right. And we're going to go through, I rushed through this show, so I don't know where, there it is. This post right here. Let's actually just bring him on and we'll jump into that. But it's going to be wild because this is a post from Dave Rubin, and I bet you don't know how long ago it was posted. Okay, so let me turn on his mic and bring in one sexy motherfucker, my best friend, Ryan De Palma. Ryan!
What up?
Okay, hold on. I need to make sure I can hear you. Go ahead and just start talking.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
So, Ryan.
Can you hear me all right?
All right, here we go.
Ryan. What up?
Okay, perfect. I can hear you perfectly. Perfect.
Does my head fit in the box?
Yeah, you had a big ass head. You've lost some weight, and I don't like it because Ryan looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man forever, and now he looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on Ozempic, but he's still
your mother.
She's dead. All right,
I got the book.
I got the book. Tell everybody about yourself, whatever you want to tell them. This is not a influencer. This is not a a big podcast or anything like that. This is just my friend who wanted to come on the show. But I have a feeling y'all are gonna love this episode because we have we have a bit of a dynamic. Okay, so go ahead, Ryan.
All right, well,
just say I'm Ryan and whatever.
Yeah, I just woke up mad today. I guess I've been mad for a while, but I don't know, dude. I gotta get off social media.
So Ryan, you live in my hometown, where I grew up. That's I've known you since we were little. You're in Taxachusetts, and there is a Muslim invasion. Is that accurate to say?
I mean, there's an invasion on all fronts here, man. Like you see it all day long, right? Like, I mean,
I don't actually, because I'm in San Antonio. They're afraid of Mexicans.
Oh, I'm jealous. Dude, like a lot of people in the chat probably won't be able to, geographically understand what I'm saying, but like South Norwood, which is probably 10 minutes from my house from where you grew up too.
Yep.
Like weekly they're down there dragging people out. I mean, but here it's become less about immigrants from South America coming through, and lately more about Muslims. On the media there's a big Muslim push, and we see our politicians pandering to it all day long in the most extreme ways. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, MAGA Mom, I just turned up his volume on video, so I think that might fix it. Let me know if that volume is better, guys, in the chat. So, yeah, Ryan, so what you know this obviously, but when my mom was sick, I was coming up. I moved here to San Antonio like 8? Yeah, like almost 9 years ago, and I love it here. But I visited Boston probably yearly since, and then obviously in the past few years because my mom was sick, a couple years, I was visiting a lot. And I noticed the massive difference between the two states. How it's like there's a lot more, like I don't want to sound too racist, but a lot more of the people that aren't American, right? Like it's not just Muslims. It's like you go everywhere and it's like, and sure we have literally we have Mexicans everywhere here, but they're Mexican Americans, and I don't see a massive. I obviously see the Indians who run the smoke shops, but it's not like everywhere. It's almost like white people were hiding when I came to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's like there is what the left call, well, the left actually calls it this, and they get mad when we bring it up, but they started this great replacement theory where they're trying to open the border, replace the demographics, turn America into a quote melting pot. The problem is it doesn't melt, right? Like there's no
Mm.
melting. You're not. It's not a melting pot. It's a charcuterie board, and you're putting like peanut butter and jelly with steak, and like it doesn't make sense, right? It's like there's no the flavors don't
Well,
mix.
what I see from my end is they don't want to to
Assimilate.
integrate with us,
Yeah.
right? Like they have no desire to. I was watching, who's that moron from Michigan, Al Saeed or something like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
don't know,
Abdul.
fucking insert generic Muslim name wherever. But and and he was on Jesse Waters, and Jesse was asking him like very direct questions, and he kept like sidestepping it. He was like, "So
Hmm.
you're against the Second Amendment?" And his response was verbatim, "What, you don't care about healthcare?" I was like, "Dude, those are two totally different things."
Yeah.
And then Jesse had brought up something about Sharia law, and what he said was, he was like, we're not trying to make other people take on the
Yeah,
Sharia law."
yeah, well, that's a lie. That's called
And
takia, right? Like, so he said
and
what he said was he goes there's this Christian form of law, and I don't want that imposed on anybody, just like I don't want Sharia law imposed on anybody. The difference is that Christian form of law, that Levitical law or whatever, it's not practiced and it's not enforced. It's not pushed. Sharia law,
well,
they actually have courts. They have physical buildings with courts, and they're popping up in Texas and Dallas. And what they
yeah,
do is in the Quran it says that the Sharia law is actually supersedes any national law, whereas Christian law doesn't. So what they're saying is we're going to put a court together, and if we think we can beat our wives, we're going to go to the Sharia court, not the American judicial court. And that's the
because that's where
difference.
I can beat my wife. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they literally, like, there's been honor killings. That Islam is incompatible with the West. That's clear. And what
Mm.
Al Saeed was also saying about he's like transgender. He's like, you want to cut off kids' dinglings? Jesse Waters goes, you want to cut off kids' dinglings? And then Al
Oh
Saeed
yeah.
goes, are you circumcised? And it's like, what? That's not even the same
It's not
thing.
the,
Like that's just the tip. That's not even the
and then
whole. You're talking
and
about
then
the.
he said, just to get back to what he was saying about Sharia law, he was like, he said something about Canadian law, and I was like, I don't understand what he's trying to say, because if you're Canadian and you come to America and it's legal to drunk drive in Canada, you're still getting arrested in America
Yeah,
for drunk driving.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't even have any good arguing points about it. Like
Well,
everything Jesse said was bad, he essentially agreed to, and then was like, you know what I mean?
but
But
yeah,
no, we don't know what you
no,
mean.
he sidestepped a lot, and that's a general politician, thing. But look here, I got this on the screen here. Have you heard of horseshoe theory, Ryan?
No.
So horseshoe theory, right? Essentially, on the political spectrum, the tips of my tongues would be the far left and the far right, or as I call them, the woke left and the woke right. That's the on the right side, it's like the Nick Fuentes, like neo-Nazi kind of like, fringe people. It's the Jews, they're all like the Jews did everything. And then on the left it's the Al Saids, right? So this is a graphic of the political horseshoe, right? Classical feminism, equality, secularism, liberalism. And in the center you have people like you and me.
Mm.
Maybe we're a little bit more orange, maybe we're like more Catholic, like traditionalist conservatives, right, etc. But then on the left you have these altruistic environmentalists. Those would be more like some of our friends in Massachusetts who are lean left, but they're not crazy. And then you
Mm.
have the other people, right? The But on the fringe, right, you have Islamism and anarchism, and that would be like the woke left and woke right. Dave Rubin posted this in 2016, right? In 2016 he posted this. I posted this right here in June of last year, right? And that's the thing. This is Owen Schroyer. I don't know if you know who that is. He worked for Infowars for Alex Jones.
Yeah.
This guy has become a crazy person. He literally was arrested after January 6th, right? They sought 120 days in prison for him. Trump pardoned him, and now because he hates Jews and Israel so much, he is now aligning with the left. Here he is with Anna Kasparian, right? And he's saying now Infowars people and Young Turks have more in common than they do with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. So the reason why I do this thing called Woke Wednesday is I'm trying to point out that the fringe, the online crazy people who are fringing, they're actually starting to align, and they're getting into this ideology of everything is somebody else's fault, and what we need to do is tear the system down to fix it, right? So by doing that, what we're leaning into is the same mentality of, the Roman Empire right before the fall. Right before the fall of the Roman Empire, it was open borders led to a bunch of people who didn't have any trust in the government. Everybody came together. The Roman Empire falls, and the Roman Empire was, say what you want about it, with the bread and circuses towards the end, but at the beginning it was actually a perfect structure. And this country is
Yeah.
structured around Western civilization is structured around the Roman Republican rule of law and early Greek democracy. That's the constitutional republic we have. That's the definition of Western civilization. Islam has absolutely everything antithetical to that. They don't believe in a government. They believe in a brotherhood. They put their brothers over any government, any law. And I had Tommy Robinson on my show, and we were talking about the peaceful Muslims, the ones who don't rape and don't cut their kids, genitals off and what have you, right? But when they invade a country at 6% in the UK, it's a huge problem. That's only 6%. And it's a huge problem because the 90 plus percent of Muslims who don't do that will not rat out the ones who do. They
Yeah.
will not turn on any Muslim brother. So what you're seeing with this multiculturalism in Massachusetts, where Mayor Wu, and they just did abortion up until birth, like it's crazy.
Crazy. Crazy.
It's crazy. Your gun laws, like everything. When I left Massachusetts, you remember, I was like, I was texting you guys. I go, got a gun.
Yeah.
Now,
We were
Bob.
like sick, dude. Like, wait, you did? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
It
and
was,
like, and
yeah.
if you had a gun, I don't know if you do or not. Wink, wink. You could get arrested. You could go to jail just for having it, right? Unless you have a
You were
license to carry.
arrested for everything, dude.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway,
Unless
like,
you're illegal.
give
Unless
me,
you're illegal.
yeah, give me a little bit more about how Massachusetts has changed from when I left to now. What's the because when I left, it honestly wasn't terrible in 2017. Like it
I
really
think
wasn't.
in I think in 2017, I, a lot of this is like social media bullshit, dude. You know what I mean?
Of
Like
course.
everyone's so glued to their phones these days that the media tells you what is cool, right? And for whatever reason, like this pro Muslim, open border, trans, whatever the fuck, like has become like trendy, right? It's cool to do that. So you get all these weak-minded people who don't have a place, right? Like they don't have their group of people,
Hmm.
and that becomes it, right? It's like the land of misfit toys, um because like you go to like you see the protests, like the No Kings rallies, like dude, they have them in neighborhoods that like shut the fuck up, right?
Well, what's a funny thing about the
Like
No Kings protests? They did them in the UK as well, and they have a literal king. They so they called it the No Tyrants. They called it the No Tyrants protests in the UK. They were like, "Oh, we didn't think this one through."
I'll say that Massachusetts feels. I mean, I grew up here, right?
Yeah.
And Massachusetts feels dangerous now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it never felt that way growing up. Even because, dude, our group of friends was pretty eclectic, right?
Yeah.
Like we grew up around all walks of life, and we were friends with all of them too. You know what I mean? Like, but none of this, like, we would never pit against each other. And
Hmm.
I feel like media now is like, well, if you know, because like I got like Muslim friends where I'm like, I think about them, like I see stuff, and I'm like, should I post that?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, nah, because that's gonna hurt his feelings, and he doesn't feel that way. You know what I mean? Like he's not that guy.
Well,
It's a weird it's a weird feeling in Massachusetts now, especially with Michelle Wu, who for people who don't know is just the mayor of the fucking city here. She's not any like federal politician or anything. Like she has no jurisdiction outside the borders of Boston, Massachusetts, right? But she's making such a big splash, and I think that that speaks to an overall issue, is that we give all these lunatics too big of a mouthpiece.
well, I mean, to be fair though, Boston, Massachusetts, Boston is a big percentage of Massachusetts because of how small it is. And I mean, if you look at Massachusetts, right, actually, hold on, I'm gonna do this with a visual aid.
It's where a lot of votes come from. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah, I
no,
get that.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about geographically, right? So geographically, let's take a look here. I'm gonna put this on the screen. So if you if you look at Massachusetts on the screen here, right, and you have Boston, right? Boston is this like circle. I'd say
Yeah,
it's about that big, right? Everything in this rectangle, nobody gives a shit about. That's not even like dragons be there.
Narnia.
That's
Yeah,
Narnia. Nobody goes there. Up here, this is more like New Hampshire light, and down here, this down here, this is where me and Ryan and everybody live. We're just at
blackout.
yeah, we're just outside of Massachusetts. There's the beaches.
You're
There's
wrong.
Marshfield.
You're wrong. We're right underneath the letters of Boston.
Yeah, we're kind of right here actually. I mean, this is not an actual representation of Massachusetts either. This one would be more accurate. So yeah, we're right about here. But either way, I'm just putting that on the screen to show you that that little dot of Boston, that little circle, it's where most people in Massachusetts are. It's where most policy generates. It's where most like if you go over here, there's not a lot of Puerto Ricans moving to the
Wrong.
MASS like part.
Wrong.
Really?
You're wrong, dude. That's so
Has it
Fitchburg,
become that since I've left? Yeah.
Springfield, Worcester. Worcester is like almost all Brazilian, which is fine, right?
Sure.
Brazilians are awesome. I don't have a beef with any one particular person. It's the radical
Well,
group of people. It's the radicals inside.
let me
But
go back to
out
something
in
you
Western
said.
Mass now, because of hold on really quickly, because of the Mass Pike and how close it is to New York and all those highway systems there, all of those towns in Western Mass are huge drug problem cities.
Yeah.
Um, and I hate to say it, but if we're gonna call a spade here, like big drug problematic cities and areas are usually populated by Black and Hispanics,
Oh, of
and
course. No, there's
that's
nothing
where it is out there, man.
that's a statistical fact. So something that you said like a few seconds like I grew up with like it's so funny when I moved to Texas, right? I would like get all these woke leftists that were like, "You're a racist, you hate black people." I'm like, "I hate black." You want to call like half of my friends from like growing up? Me and
Yeah,
like dude, like if you knew my friend group, I look it looks like a big Oreo cookie with just a little bit of cream filling.
I rap.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like you know, Lindor, Dante. We got all of my friends growing up. We were
Yeah, dude, Antonio Ray, like all
very
those guys.
diverse. Yeah, Josh, Big J. All of my friends were very
Shout out Big
diverse.
J.
Shout out Big J. He's actually banging on the fucking on the mic. Um.
Yeah,
So and I just wanted to bring that up because it's like it's funny because when you there's like this there's this funny like weird race like it's like backwards racism from the left where they're actually like "No, black people wouldn't like you," and I'm like, no, black people are friggin' cool, man. The people who are like career criminals and drug dealers and what have you, and they go to these areas like you go to look at Minnesota with the Somali population.
It's nuts out
We're
there.
not talking about my friend Lindor. We're not talking about
I got some shit to say about that too.
we're not talking about black people. We're talking about illegal immigrants who just happen to be black, who are
Hmm.
creating a big problem because they are not assimilating to the culture. And in Massachusetts, we had, when I was growing up, I worked at Domino's with all the Brazilians. Vasi fude, vasi chupa meu pau. That's like we learned all the swear words. They used to call it mayonnaise. I've been around a bunch of different cultures, but they all had this patriotism and Americanism, and they would assimilate and they would learn the language. We're seeing something different now with immigration where they're not trying to assimilate. They're not coming in here to be American. They're coming in here to be themselves in America. And that's the problem with Sharia law. They can't, or not Sharia law, Islam.
And I,
Islam will never assimilate anywhere they go, ever. Period. Point blank, period.
and it's the irony behind that is crazy, is because, you know, Minnesota in particular, like I have a cousin who lives out there and she sucks. And whatever. I hope she fucking hears it. But um she posts all this stuff, so I have to see it. And it's ironic because all of these people are yelling from the rooftops about open borders and we all need to get along and this and that. But they're physically blocking off neighborhoods in Minnesota to keep people who disagree with them out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, where's all that open border bullshit now?
Well, yeah,
You
I
know what
mean,
I mean?
they want to, like, they changed the flag to look more like the Somali flag. You have Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar and everything where they're saying that I'm here to represent Somalia in America versus, and like not Tim Walz, but Ilhan Omar. But you see what the problem is. The problem is that there's no multiculturalism, right? Because it's a lie, right? Multiculturalism is they try to push it as multiple cultures coming together and working in unison. These are
That's
separate
never worked.
these are separate cultures that are antithetical. They have antithetical values. America, I believe, is no, I don't believe it is. America is a Christian nation, right? Based on Judeo-Christian values. We have separation of church and state, which means that we don't have a national like religion, and we can't force other people to be Christians. However, when other religions or other cultures, I mean, you don't even have to go religions, just go cultures, right? Because I don't even consider Islam a religion. When they come in and they basically say, we hate Judeo Christian Western values, which is what America is founded on, those people can't be here because
Right.
that is like it's like a squatter, right? Where it's like you have to get out of my house. Like this is my house. You don't belong here. You're not
Yeah.
part of the family. You're not paying rent. You need to go. And Trump, everybody's talking about on the quote woke right. They talk about how Trump hasn't done enough on the border. The border has been 94 is the low end.
They're already here.
No, but I'm saying
Like,
I understand that, and mass deportations. I mean, there's a big lie about that. Trump has done more mass deportations than any president in modern history because of self deportation. He took the CPB-1 app that Biden used to bring all these people in. He reprogrammed it and sent out a message to everybody with the CPB-1 app, and he said, "We'll give you $2,600 if you leave." Right, and people are leaving.
mm,
Millions of people have left. I think that the low estimate is 3. The high estimate is like somewhere around 4.7. So 4.7 million, that's about in about 2 years Trump has gone about a third of the immigrants that Biden let in 4 years. But I digress. What I'm saying is this problem that we have, like you said, they're already here, they're already assimilating, and with Islam, they call it jihad of the womb, right? A lot of Muslims will come into a country and they will just start banging.
having
They
kids.
will have
Yeah.
kids fast, right? I mean, fast. And what do we do about them? Because the Supreme Court already ruled that, if you're born on American soil, you're an American, which I do agree with. But I mean, it's also something that has been taken. Our laws have been taken and sort of used against us by
Well, there's
by
a
these
gray
people.
area there that should be hammered out.
I know, I
Like,
agree, but
it,
it is what it is.
yeah, you got, if you agree with one, you got to agree with them all.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
I
I'm
mean,
I'm a
they
constitutionalist, so
call I'm a constitutionalist too, but there is a good argument for denaturalization, and I believe denaturalization would apply to anybody that has come into this country who doesn't have the Western values. And if the Supreme Court ruled that if you're born on American soil, fine, your parents got to go. You know, but they
You
weren't.
know, I commented on something which I'm like wholly against, because like I know who I am and I know the war that brings inside when people respond. So, but I did comment on something today, and it was that Jesse Waters video where, people are like, not in America, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not in the America you remember it as, but he could totally win. He could absolutely win between voter fraud and the amount of immigrants in the concentrated areas of electoral votes. You know what I mean? Like, he
Yeah.
can totally win.
No, he could.
And 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 what people fail to realize is, like, dude, I feel exactly like I did on September 12th. And I have felt that way since September 12th. And the Al Qaeda and the Taliban, right?
Yeah, ISIS, Al Qaeda, it's all the same.
ISIS, they had a plan and they put it in place, and it's being executed fucking flawlessly right now. Do you know what I mean? And it was to splinter cells are a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they to to take the new generation of Muslims and move them into America to grow up in America,
Yep.
but to carry the values that the Taliban and Al Qaeda alike all shared, get into positions of power here. First, it's let's get here, let's get overpopulated here. Then it's let's take our candidate and push them. And now, dude, 10 years ago, it wouldn't even have been on the fucking table whether or not
Yeah.
Sharia law should be allowed in America.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
there's a big push in Texas because they're trying to take over Texas where I live because and they're concentrating in the Dallas
Yeah, I
Fort.
saw that. Didn't like a bunch of dudes show up and like beat the shit out of some dude running?
Yeah. Well, no,
It's awesome.
they're trying to concentrate in the Dallas Fort Worth area, but you're right. I mean, look, Mamdani won, right? Mamdani is now the mayor of the biggest city in America. He's a Muslim. Well, I call him an Islamo Marxist, right? Where he's not necessarily just all Islam. He's not necessarily just all communist, Marxist, whatever. He's like a mixture of both. So I call him the living human embodiment of the Red Green Alliance. And the Red Green Alliance is when in Iran in the 70s they became more progressive. They put colleges there. Iran in the 70s looked really like a good place to live, right? They had women didn't have to.
Iraq too.
Yeah, women didn't have to. And now Iraq, you can bang a 9-year old. It's crazy. But
All that
so
work.
the Red Green Alliance, what they did was the Islamists, they teamed up with the progressive communists and socialists, and they overthrew the Shah, and they put in the IRGC, which is now who we're fighting. And Donald Trump has been talking about this since the 80s, right? Because in the 70s, this happened. So now you have in America, which in a deep blue city, you have Mamdani, who's an Islamo Marxist, and now you have Al Said. Al Said is going to be the litmus test of whether or not we are screwed, because a deep blue city, I can understand that, but where in
Red
Michigan,
state.
but in Michigan, if that happens, we have a big problem. So I'm really looking at that race and hoping that Mike
But
Rogers takes it, because if he
let
doesn't,
me
we have a big problem. But you're right, he
let
can
me
win.
ask let me ask you, why do you think that all of these like really strong this really strong presence of illegal migrants are popping up in these Midwest
Oh,
states?
no, I think it was a plan.
I do
Yeah,
too.
I think it was the plan. I think so. Like when they flooded the border with these, it was all a lot of military age males, a lot of them from Muslim countries. I mean, Muslim countries they've almost doubled in the past. I think 40 years, right? So there's like 56 I believe it's 56 Muslim nations now, and there was only like 25 like 50 years ago. So they are conquerors. They are literally invaders who conquer and take over different countries wherever they invade. So I would say that the UK will be a majority Muslim nation in the next 15, 20 years
It's wild over there
unless they
right
do
now.
something wild like denaturalization and remigration, which is extreme. It literally will look like they are rounding up Muslims, and they will be, but that's the only way to
I
fix it.
I love Poland.
Poland's great.
So they're my
I
favorite.
was watching. So I was saying this yesterday, and I go, I know that show Ted Lasso is full of woke leftists, but I like it, right? And there's a scene in Ted Lasso where the girl's from Poland, and she's talking to her boyfriend. She's like, you want to come visit my family with me? You can help us screw in light bulbs. And he goes, what do you mean by that? And she goes, nothing. So, all right,
But
so
I
real
saw
quick
like,
before
go
we
ahead.
move on, we're gonna move on to the Jelly Roll thing. But real quick, I got a graphic up of Massachusetts, right? I think thought you'd like this. Dedham, Massachusetts. This right here. This is where I grew
Mm,
up. That's where
me
Ryan is right
too.
now. Quinn.
No, Westwood. I moved up in the world,
Oh,
buddy.
you're in Westwood now. Well, you're on the line. You're right on the
Yeah, all
line.
my neighbors are Chinese now, by the way.
You know what I miss? I miss
You know
the
what I mean?
China. I say
It's
this all
nice
the
and
time.
quiet around here.
I say this all the time. I miss the Chinese food more than anything. I miss it more than I miss you,
It's the
Ryan.
duck sauce.
I can talk exactly. I can talk to you. I can't talk to those barbecue spare ribs. Um,
I can do an accent if you want.
okay. So Ryan said that he hasn't seen this yet. Okay. So Jelly Roll, and I was under the impression that Jelly Roll was more on the right, right?
Yeah,
Jelly
I'm
Roll.
over that motherfucker anyway.
I know, dude. I was gonna say something like weeks ago because of the whole breakup thing. It doesn't matter. He guest hosted Jimmy Kimmel after Rosie O'Donnell guest hosted Jimmy Kimmel, and it looks like Jelly Roll has gone to the dark side or whatever. But let's check this out. Ryan, I think you should be able to hear this.
The cars drove through the streets of D.C., and there's Donald Trump, who apparently has never held a flag before.
Hold on, that's really low on my end.
What a
Guys, is that
I
low
can
on?
hear it.
Yeah, I think it's low though. I'm just gonna turn it up a bit. Actually, I think I can do that through here.
How do you up waving a flag?
There we go. So yeah, start over.
The cars drove through the streets of D.C., and there's Donald Trump, who apparently has never held a flag before.
I'll give that one to him. That was kind of funny because Trump was waving the flag very weird.
What a
Nah, fuck
How do
him.
you up waving a flag? But the president seemed to enjoy the IndyCar race, which was a real switch up for him because normally he only likes his own race.
It's so wild, man, because Jelly Roll.
Trump also drove around the track in his motorcade doing what they call the lap of honor, which sounds like a loyalty program at a strip club.
Like, these aren't funny.
They're just bad
5%
jokes. Yeah, he
cash
sucks.
back in the champagne room for all lap of honor members. Sadly, those are the only laps Trump's been doing lately.
Bro,
According
you're as
to the
fat as he
Washington
is.
Post, a lot of doctors are worried about the president's weight. After his last physical, we found out Trump gained 14 pounds, which means he's now tipping the scales at almost 240. It's crazy. Think about this, y'all. In the last few years,
This is so wild. Jelly Roll making fat jokes is like the wildest thing because
Well, yeah, like, dude, you were 900 pounds like a year ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like he's just, and he, you want to
let's play it. Let's
I
play
guess the
it.
shit I want to talk. All right.
Yeah, he just goes, I lost 300 pounds. Yeah, he lost a whole. Oh, here it comes. I lost a whole president.
That means I've lost an entire
I fucking knew it.
Donald Trump.
I fucking knew it. I knew that was gonna be the dumb joke.
Let's be honest. Based on his approval ratings, it seems like most of the country wants to do the same thing.
So fucking funny.
All right, I got one more. I got one more. Right, I got one more here. He made some like dick joke. I think it was. Yeah, here.
Well, Mr. President, from one fat pig to another, take it from me that physical fitness is very important. And trust me, you'll be happy to see your penis again.
Does that mean you just called yourself a fat pig? All right, you know what? So look.
I mean, that's okay. I'm a huge fan of comedians doing self-deprecation,
But this is the funny thing, right? On the screen here, look, this is from, I think this is from like last year. This is from when I think it was the UFC fight or something. Look at Jelly Roll. Look at him like,
best friends.
look at him so excited to see Trump. He's like, oh my God, hi. You know,
Dude, we saw him last year, right? Me and Courtney went to
yeah,
go see
no,
him.
there's Kid, yeah, so there's Kid Rock.
Go ahead, you finish.
No, I think that's it, right? So look, this is the thing about these fake ass people, right? It's like I understand like there's this in Hollywood what's it called? What's it called when when all of your friends do something and then you start doing it? You start like, you start like group think, I guess you could call it. There's like a group think thing
Hive
going.
mind,
Hive mind,
hive
group think.
mentality.
But it's like, dude, Jelly Roll. If Jelly Roll, if I've seen Jelly Roll. He's like, I'm into hunting. I'm into this. I'm Joe Rogan. He's like
Well,
country, this, that, and the other, all America. And then out of nowhere, this dude goes and calls Trump a fat pig and says like, you can see your dick again, et cetera, et cetera. There's something that happened where it's like he was either given money or he was given some type
oh
of
yeah,
opportunity.
dude. And here's the thing, right? Like I am just in the habit of giving people the benefit of the doubt, and we know that he didn't write those jokes,
Oh,
and
100%.
I don't think that it's outside the realm of reality that Jimmy Kimmel and his team, knowing that someone who is viewed as a Republican or an American nationalist, right? To set them up in a way that makes them look contrary, right? Like
Yeah.
that, all these jokes probably wouldn't have been used by someone who they knew was left leaning or whatever the case may be, but they had an opportunity
Hmm.
to show the world on a massive scale. Look, even Jelly Roll doesn't like the president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then put and force that too. And because Jelly Roll is regardless of his weight, a fucking greedy pig,
Yeah.
and he is in this only for money and will pander to wherever the dollar is. He's just out there reading off a teleprompter and doesn't even care.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
I think
mean?
that this is gonna backfire on him hard though, because like his base, his core base of fans, right? They are not going to. So there's a difference between cancel culture and
Big Christian and Big America were behind
yeah,
Jelly Roll,
yeah.
and
There's a difference between like cancel culture and boycott culture, right? I like Bud Light. The Bud Light treatment worked, right? Like Bud Light tried some woke stuff, and real quick they found out that was a mistake. And
yeah, you fucking crazy, dude.
I think
Like
Jelly Roll
that's
is
like
gonna see
NASCAR,
yeah, yeah. I think Jelly Roll is gonna see a massive like there's gonna be some blowback from this, and I think he's gonna be like, damn, I didn't think it was gonna be that
Good,
bad.
because I'm tired of hearing that motherfucker on the radio all the time,
He's
whining.
yeah, he's okay, like or he was okay, but I never really like when I saw what the thing this is when I stopped really being a super fan of Jelly Roll. It was his first Joe Rogan appearance. I looked at that episode and I go, that guy is fake as shit. I was like, that guy is so
Yeah.
fake. Come on, Joe, come on, Joe. Like I was like, that guy is fake. Like he's fake,
Well,
and
he started his career as like a dirty South like
yeah,
shrill rapper, right? And he lived that lifestyle. He was a drug dealer. He did time for
yeah,
time for traffic and shit like that. But like you see the old videos of him, dude, and he's dressed like fucking we were in
yeah,
2004. You know what I mean? Like, and then he just the way he switched up to following the money. He's a classic tale of coattailing,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
uh, like he wherever the money was, he got him with that kid up church. That kid up church gave him a push under the guys like we fucking ride four
yeah, yeah.
wheelers in the mud.
That guy's
And he was
crazy.
yeah, but like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I would never fucking take anything seriously from a guy with a grill like that. Um, but that was his thing, and then like he's a chameleon, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna blend in with
Well,
whatever crowd is most popular. You know what I mean?
this
And
is
now that's what is popular.
this is the op. I talk about these ops all the time, right? It's psyops that are like they're designed for demoralization. They're designed to attack the right. So because I think the left is really what's up, Puck? I think the left is really concerned about their future. And I think that they know that there's a lot of motivation in on the right. There's a Christian revival, especially after Charlie Kirk's assassination. A lot of people are
Yeah.
going back to church. They're getting more into their roots, their Americanism, and they're trying all these ops, and they're so blatantly, glaringly obvious, right? Like I just showed.
Hmm.
Let's pull this back up. Like this is an op, right? This is like this Owen Schroyer thing and Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson. Like it's like Tucker Carlson is like it's crazy what happened to him, right? Like but that scene from Jelly Roll, that's not really a right winger that is now using he's not using the right wing. He literally went straight from everybody thought that he was on the right to Jimmy Kimmel, I hate Donald Trump out of nowhere. So that's
Yeah.
way more obvious than what we're seeing with these. But this right here, like this like this is more of the subtle op. This is like the Owen Schroyer MAGA. He was like super MAGA. Anna Kasparian she's an Islamo-Marxist, and she's like literally a hardcore far leftist. And listen to this 30 seconds, guys.
But I want to go back. I want to go back 10 years ago. The famous moment at the RNC in Cleveland, the Young Turks InfoWars. You were there, Leanne McAdoo. Obviously, Alex and Shank were there as well. We all remember the moment, Roger Stone. I was outside doing street content, so I didn't actually get to be a part of that fun. But you were there.
Mm-hmm.
I make the joke about that's where we were at 10 years ago. Now it feels like InfoWars people and Young Turks people have more in common now than they do with the Democrat Party or the Republican Party.
Okay, what now? Hold on. What do they have in common, though? Right? That's the thing. Like, you hear what he just said. InfoWars people. InfoWars are, let's call them right-wing conspiracy, like, I guess you could call them far right, but what do they have in common with the far left? Like, that's what he doesn't explain what it is that they have in common. And I can tell you, they've become this force against the MAGA movement. That's what it is. It's like they are saying they use Israel as the scapegoat, but really they're just against Trump. Like, they've become anti-Trump, and they don't explain why, though. They say things like he hasn't done enough on the border. Well, I just told you there's been, upwards of 4 million deportations, right? Let's call it 3 million. I don't care. But there's been upwards of 3 million. Millions. 1 million would have been good. 1 million would have been good, but there's been upwards of 4 million. There's been a 94 to 99.4% drop in border crossings. The border is essentially closed. No more people are coming in. So people are leaving. Nobody new is coming in. We are moving in the right direction. What has Trump done on manufacturing? With the tariffs, he's gotten manufacturing boosted. What has he done for? I mean, look, you can look at the negatives. You can say, well, affordability, like groceries are still expensive. Yeah, we had 4 years of Biden. It doesn't fix overnight. There's things that Trump could do better on. His interventionist, his plan in Iran, which I kind of support, but I also think that needs to be wrapped up. You can focus on all of the negative, but if you look at just the border crossings, what is it that the woke left and the woke right have in common? And I'll tell you, it's they hate Jews. They hate Israel. They hate some country the size of New Jersey in the Middle East. It's all they talk about. They have Israel derangement syndrome. That's the only thing they have. So if you, Ryan, and me were like, okay, let's be friends with, Mom Donnie because, hey, do you like Chinese food? I like Chinese food. All right, well, we agree on everything. No, it's see, do you?
Yeah, no, it's not that simple. I have tons of friends, and I think a lot of the things they do are fucking moronic. The
Haitians are,
the
somebody
enemy of my
somebody in the
enemy-
chat just brought up a good point. Haitians are self-deporting to Canada. There's a huge problem for Canada right now because the people that have taken advantage of the self-deportation the most are the Haitian community, and they're going straight to Canada, and Canada is going to have a fucking problem now. Like, they have a huge problem coming their way because they already...
But you know what, dude? Fucking good. I don't care where anybody goes.
You remember Rudy?
I don't give a fuck.
You remember Rudy from high school? He was Haitian.
Yeah, dude. Lindor's Haitian.
Lindor's Haitian? Oh, Lindor's Haitian? I just thought he was black.
His last name is Lindor.
That's...
Yeah, he's just a black guy.
Yeah,
He's only, no,
he's just a
we're not going to do that.
he's-
We're not going to do that. Not without him here, it's not right.
That's
If he
true.
was here, we could light him up, but
Yeah. no.
I can't do it with him not there.
Go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was going to say, dude.
Wow.
Go ahead. You can take
Let's
it back.
let's jump in.
I
Let's
lost
jump
my
into
train of
let's jump into the news, right? Because we got some news. We got about 5 minutes left. Let's go through some stories. I just wanted to bring my friend on and chat with him. And
Yeah, I miss you.
yeah, I miss you too, man. You got to come to Texas. We can shoot things.
Yeah, but then I gotta like spend more time than I think I want to with you.
Yeah, that's true. And
Do you know
I
what I
got a
mean?
blow up mattress. You can sleep right there under the guns.
Absolutely not, dude. I appreciate it, but no.
Oh, Dolly Parton died. Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot to bring that up. I missed my shot, man. I thought that
yeah.
there was gonna be one.
You really had that. Yeah, you really had that one.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a lot easier if I know where she is now. I mean,
Yeah. Oh
just
man.
give me a shovel. Uh,
I don't think she could have got away from you anyway, dude. Had you seen her in like, I'm not gonna
well,
speak ill
dude,
of the
what did
dead,
she
but
do?
like
She did
they
the
were
half.
propping her up.
Didn't she do the halftime show like a year ago or something like that? And she looked good. She looked good
I
for
think she did
80.
the Grand Old Opry
Yeah,
maybe last year or the year before, but like, good God, like her and Frankie Valley,
yeah.
the powers that be, like, let them give them the spear and send them out into the woods, dude. Like, they're dragging these old people around for nostalgia purposes. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I'm pretty, sh- I'm
hey,
pretty
you
sure
know what?
they're
All
just
right.
cutting heads off.
R.I.P. Dolly. I'll miss
Yep.
you. Okay.
Huh.
We'll do one story because I don't know if you've heard about this, right? But the Supreme Court. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I've done a little bit more research on this now, and this is a potential really like huge, massive legal win. But I now that I've done a little bit more research, there's still a potential chance that it gets overturned. So the Supreme Court, Massachusetts, a district judge in Massachusetts essentially sued Donald Trump for his executive order, and the Supreme Court overturned that legal order, which means that there's the way that this is going to work if it goes through, which I think it will, is there's now going to be for mail-in voting a tracking system. They're going to be able to
Mhm.
put barcodes and track, and they're only going to be able to send out mail-in ballots to people that they have verified are American citizens
Which
through
makes sense.
right
I don't even know what we're arguing, dude.
through the post office. But right now they actually do need to go back and adjudicate it further. But because of this Supreme Court ruling, they can actually proceed forward immediately, and they can start implementing this executive order because the executive order itself is now technically in effect. That injunction from the Massachusetts district judge is now null and void, but they still have to adjudicate it. I think it's going to work. However,
Mm.
Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Supreme Court justice who does not know what a woman is, right? That she was asked,
Oh yeah.
how did that happen? We literally put who, and I'm not talking about how did Biden nominate her. That makes sense. Biden's retarded. How did Congress ask a Supreme Court candidate what is a woman? And the answer was I don't
I don't know.
I'm not a
I don't know.
biologist. How did they go after that? They go, okay, let's put her in. That
Sounds good.
I put that squarely on the on the Senate. Now,
Who's that kid I like?
which one?
The one who looks like Superman.
Brandon Gill.
Yeah.
Brandon Gill, dude.
Dude,
You know, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know that he was like 30. Like, I didn't know that he was young. Right?
I love it.
His wife follows me. They're great. Danielle's great, and so um, I didn't realize he was so young, and I was like, if he ran for president, like everyone's talking about Rubio and Vance, and I'm like, if Gill ran for president, I'd done.
100%.
I would sit outside.
Based
I would sit outside the polling location like it was a Black Friday sale. Like I would be.
based off of that interaction he has with, I don't know, fucking whoever the fuck,
Yeah.
where he's asking her, what does he say about the pregnancy prevention
Yeah.
funding for trans women?
Yeah.
And she's like, I think everybody deserves, and like the whole
Yeah.
point is like he fucking can't. He can't. Doesn't have to prevent being
He's
pregnant.
really
He
he's
doesn't
yeah
have the
he's
equi-
really good at he's really good at cross examination. All right, we're gonna get out of here in a second. Let's read this story because I want to find out what Ketanji Brown Jackson said. She rips into the Supreme Court colleagues over a serious legal error. Okay. She said that this ruling violates a well-established precedence concerning this court's equitable discretion. If you just use big words, that don't mean you're smart, and needlessly injects chaos and uncertainty into upcoming midterm elections. So this is okay. Here's what I read here. I read the Supreme Court justice is concerned about elections, where she is now trying to put her finger on the scale for elections. That's not your job. Your job is to interpret the Constitution. The election should be irrelevant. She said, let's let another shoe drop on the what the hell Kafasque nightmare that our precedents have been steadily creating for certain plaintiffs seeking to bring election-related challenges. The court's disposition of this application does not mean any measure taken by the government implement order will necessarily be lawful, the majority wrote. On that score, time will tell. So this is what I was just alluding to, right? This does not mean that the election laws have now changed. This means that the executive order can continue to take place, but it's going to be kicked back down to the lower courts, and they can bring it back up. The problem is, right now it's in effect, and the election's in like 2 months and 10 days. So I think we're going to be okay, because I think that they're not going to have enough time to adjudicate this, and we're going to be able to use the scanners, the barcodes, and the tracking through the post office, which, like I said, like you said, that makes perfect sense. I think that this is how mail-in voting should work, and I've said this over and over again. I think that if you want to mail in your vote, fine, go get it notarized. Simple. Go get it. Go get it. Go show somebody your ID. Freaking under penalty of perjury, have that person's license be on the line and say, this is my mail-in vote, here's my license, here's my name.
And even take it another step further for that specifically, for elections and mail-in ballots, waive the fee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Waive the fee, make it free. Of course.
Make it accessible to people. But like, there's got to be something.
Well, then,
like,
if you did that, then they wouldn't want to do the mail-in ballots anyway. The only reason that the left is pushing the mail-in ballots is for fraud. So if you take away the fraudulent part of it, they would move on to something else. Anyway, we got to wrap it up. I got to go finish this damn shower. Oh, you know what? Real quick before I get you out of here, I wanted to show you
the saw.
Well, no, not the saw.
Call me out.
The saw, dude. Yeah, the son of a bitch. They stole my IQ saw. Did you see my post where I dropped the I chastised the GC? So
no,
so Ryan's in the same business as me. We're both in remodeling. So Ryan, you know about GCs, right? Sometimes the GC will just be like, "Oh, you gotta hurry up," and I'm like,
Zack, I am a GC now.
Buddy. I know, but so you're not.
Be careful.
So watch. All right, here it is. So this GC, I tell this GC, I go, all right, you have priority. I worked Monday through Friday on this job. I told him it's a $10,000 shower. I told him 2.5 weeks. All right, I'm about 3 days, maybe 2 days over schedule. And I went and I did a backsplash on a Saturday. Right, so this is what he texts me. He goes, "We definitely need to have a conversation. I know you're doing a backsplash. I see that you're doing a backsplash because I posted it on Instagram." He's like, "These are occupied homes, and you're working on. If you cannot commit to our job start to finish, let me know so we can rethink work moving forward." Right now,
hold on.
This was
definitely need to have a conversation. I know it's good.
But anyway, this was like strike 3. He's already gotten snippy with me a few times before this. So I wrote back, I go, "Yeah, I'm working on a backsplash and a French door, and I've done both on the weekends. I don't work for you. I'm working with you. I own my company. I'm not your employee, so I don't appreciate you talking to me like that. 2.5 weeks to do a bathroom is not unreasonable. I don't know what your other contractors are doing, but if they're rushing through jobs and setting unrealistic deadlines, that's fine. I work at my own pace because I'm a high-end custom remodeler." And then I go, "We have contracts already signed, so I'll finish those 2. And after that, you shouldn't schedule me for any more projects because I don't think I'm the type of installer you're looking for."
100%.
This post blew up, dude. It's got 750,000 views, 6,000 likes, and I had so many people in the trades who don't follow me for politics. They were like, "Dude, I've been wanting to say that to a GC forever." It's like, it's so wild, man. Oh, by the way, guys, I know a lot of you are going to go over to Bongino because it's 9. Go ahead. I'll give you a shout out. We're going to go for a few more minutes before we end. A lot of people here, they jump right over to Bongino after. We'll raid Bongino in a minute. I'll give you the shout outs, but if you guys want to go, you can take off. Go ahead. The GC,
Thanks,
yeah.
It's that post blew up because it's not just other guys who work in the trades who can identify with that. It's also homeowners who get these houses and they get these projects finished and have nothing but problems for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
So to see someone like you, like the person who's been hired by the GC, push back, like, no, it's got to be done
Right.
right. It's got to be done the correct way over being done expediently.
Yeah.
They can appreciate that, right? Because like, I don't care if you take 2 weeks longer to fix my bathroom, as long as
Oh,
I know that I don't have to call you 17 times to re-put tile up,
yeah. This is what I
reset
wrote.
tile, because
Well, he gave me the before this. I didn't post this one, but before that, he goes, "What was done today besides grouting?" Right, and that was strike two. And I go,
fuck you.
the reason I only grouted is because you don't work on top of fresh grout. I needed the tiles grouted and protected and covered. There's an order of operations to do things right. And if you rush through things, that's how you make mistakes. I don't make mistakes. And that's like these GCs that use the finish guys. They set unrealistic expectations with their customer. Then they go and they start taking it out on the finish guys. And the finish guys sometimes will rush through a job, make a mistake, and then you're there even longer.
Yep.
Bro, I'm not your employee. Like, you hired me to help you. All right. So I have other customers. I can go and do my other customers' jobs. You don't talk to me like that. And then yesterday, I hung up on him yesterday. I didn't
It's a
hang up.
lot different than the old Zack would have said something a little different.
I thought about it. Yesterday I called him and check this out. I go, and I'm being nice to him now. Like I'm just like killing him with kindness. I go, he had a problem with the solid surface. I go, I have a guy. I'm gonna go over there and get that now, actually, after this. But I call him and I go, all right, I told you it was gonna be Thursday, but if you want me to do the solid surface, let's call it Friday. And I go, and then I'll jump on your next job, the one that we already have a contract for. I go, I'll jump on that Monday. And he goes, oh, that one's not ready yet. And I go, then why are you rushing me? And
Yeah.
he goes,
Do you need me somewhere?
hey,
No. So
well,
what
so
the fuck?
this is what he says to me. He goes, oh, because I've already been on the job that you're currently on for too long, and I just need it done. I don't like being in occupied homes too long. And I go, the customers love me, dude. I go, the customers are talking to me all the time. They made me dinner last night. I go, you don't need.
Mm.
I go, you don't need to rush me to do my job. As long as as long as there's if the customer sees a person doing the job, that's what they care about. I've been doing this 20 years, dude. I don't know how long you've been doing it. And we had this little kind of friendly, kind of terse conversation. And then this is how I hung up on him. I didn't necessarily hang up on him, but I hung up on him like the way my dad used to hang up on me.
All right.
When he goes, I go, all right, so I'll have the job done Friday and everything. And then as he's going, okay, I just hung up.
Yeah.
Bye.
100%. Yeah. Click.
Anyway.
And then you wait for them to call you back. But you know what? You know why he's stressed out is because he's fucked up probably
Oh.
several times before he even got to you.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so he's telling. So you're only 3 days
Yeah.
over your deadline, but he's probably
A
like
month.
fucking
Yeah.
5 weeks
Yeah.
over his deadline.
Exactly.
So they're not mad at you. You're in there. You're doing great. You're a nice
Yeah.
guy. You're fun to be around. But then they're going to him and they're like, still took fucking 5 weeks longer than it's supposed to. You know what I mean? And and you know how general contractors are. They come in with that bullshit. Like, I know we had some hiccups along the way. So, you know, ebbs and flows. But what's important is that we're going to finish strong and we're going to put out a beautiful product.
Well, dude,
and he's not finishing strong, right? Because like your shit is taking longer than he
dude,
expected.
he's got. I'm in the middle of tiling yesterday, and a freaking drywall guy walks in, right? And I go, what are you doing
What are you
here? I
doing
go,
here?
what are you doing
What
here?
do you?
He goes,
What does drywall have? Why is drywall happening?
he goes, well, Chris sent me in here to put up the drywall, and I go, nope. I go, get out of here, get out of here.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Like he's still got a ways to go, right? If you're only 3 days over in your timeline, like he's
gonna
still
have
has
to,
some
yeah.
shit he's
He
gotta
has to do. He has
He
to
can
do.
make up some time.
He has to do the drywall, the texture, the painting. He has to paint and finish the cabinets, install the tops of the vanity, do the plumbing, put the toilet back in, put the doors back in, and do all the finished trim.
What are we talking about right
I know,
now?
exactly.
Yeah, from my standpoint, and you who has been a general contractor too, right? Like he's like in the middle of the project.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be sweating anybody over 3 days.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I can make there's plenty of other trades that got to come in and do their thing before we're done, where I
Yeah.
can save a day or two. But
well, yeah.
whatever, fuck that guy.
Speaking of, I gotta go. Even though I could have just told him to screw, I decided I wanted to help the customer. So I got a remnant guy down here It's like a quarter mile from my place, and it's just this shop where they have all of these remnants, right? They're not a like professional shop. They're more like a, you know what I mean? There's chickens running around in there. And right.
My favorite.
Those are the
Jeff the
best.
tile guy.
Those are the
Jeff
best.
the tile guy.
Those are the best. So I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna be like, give me 2 pieces at 48 by 6 and 1 piece at 30 by 6 and have them cut by tomorrow. And they'll have them cut by tomorrow and I'll bang this thing out. And I'll be the hero and the dude will still not appreciate it. But I'm gonna
You
go.
just reminded me that I got to call Metropolitan Cabinet
All right.
now.
Well, go do your thing, brother, and we'll have you back on sometime. I'm sure they'd love the conversation. What'd you guys think of Ryan, everybody? All right.
Be nice to me.
All right.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Bye.
All right, boys and girls, let's do the shout outs and let's raid Bongino. That's my best friend. Like, we've been friends since, I want to say middle school. Yeah, I would say 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade. So I don't know how old I was then. 10, 30 years maybe. Been friends with him for 30 years. All right, Bongino. The Dan Bongino Show. All right, let's go raid Dan. We got to get that. I got to get working on that. I got to get that that soundboard button from Ace Ventura. Dan. Ryan is fun. Love Ryan. See you, Ryan. Nice show. Have a great day, Zach. Perfect. All right. Rating the chat. Quick shout outs, and then I'm off to go pick up. Well, I'm off to get some solid surface cut. /raid. Perfect. Alrighty. Here we go. Okay, we got Roadrunner 513, Donna Marie, T. Mitchell on The Edge, Samuel, Bumba, Rhodes Head, Cynthia Mangles, Gittin McGroin, Great Guy Gary, Crazy Moan McGroin, Carl Benji, Liberated Podcast, and Eden. I will see you all tomorrow for 2A Thursday.